What's going on, everybody? Rogue here, coming at you with episode 23 of Death Note. Last episode was fucking awesome, and this episode is going to be, I feel like, twice as amazing as last episode. Last episode, the showdown, I feel like, began between L, Light, and Higuchi. Oh my god, man. They have this all planned out. They have all of his vehicles bugged. They've laid the groundwork for him to go to that building and try to get the personnel files so that he can kill Matsuda before Matsuda is able to reveal that Higuchi is Kira. I was thinking about this just before I recorded as to like what predictions I could make for this episode, and the only prediction I could come up with is maybe Higuchi will find out that no corporation would allow some stranger to just fucking walk in unsupervised and look at all of their personnel files. Like that seems really sketchy. And so maybe he'll piece that together, that like something's fishy, and he'll kind of do a detour, and maybe he'll like make the ideal and try to just go straight to that broadcasting station and just look at that guy, look at Matsuda straight up. Because it's very apparent that Rem is not withholding any details, and he knows about the eyes. He knows that Misa had the eyes, and so he knows that the ideal is on the table. But I feel like he approached it the same way Light did, where he thought that giving up half of his life was a waste. But now that he's in this kind of a dire situation, maybe he'll reconsider and he'll take that ideal. The only thing I could think of is that he'll piece together that no corporation would just give the passcode to some stranger to enter into their building and then tell them where the personnel files are. That would never ever fucking happen. Like, not in a million fucking years would that happen. Like, in the last episode, they didn't have any kind of, like, discussion as to, like, what this man's credentials are. He was just like, I need to know his name. Give me his name. And the guy's like, okay, well, if you need to know so bad, then I'll give you the passcode to the building. And you can, like, that, what? That would never fucking happen. That would never fucking happen. And so that's the only thing I can think of, is that maybe their plan won't go exactly how they think it will because of that. And they don't know about the ideal. And so they think that Higuchi needs the person's face and name to kill. They also mentioned that he wouldn't be interested in Misa if he had the same power of being able to just see someone's face and kill them. And so I think that could catch our guys off guard a little bit, is if he does show up in that broadcasting station with the Shinigami eyes, and he just looks at him and he just like writes it down really briefly and dips. Maybe things won't go exactly how they planned, and maybe we'll see a fatality with Matsuda. But I have to assume that, like, the whole building would be guarded. Like, every entrance to the building would have, like, maximum security, and the people guarding the building would have no reason not to cover their faces as well. So they'd probably take full opportunity and just go, like, just fully decked out in SWAT gear, like, masks, everything, just to cover all their bases and make sure that Higuchi can't just kill them by seeing their face. I don't know. I feel like with Light and L on the same team coming up with a plan, Higuchi will probably just fall for the plan like hook, line, and sinker, and I'm just kind of overthinking this whole situation. Higuchi doesn't seem like a very smart guy either, especially from that scene with Misa and him in the car, where he just straight up said, like, so if I'm Kira, you'll marry me, and she was like, yeah, I guess so, and then he's like, well, I'm Kira, and it's like, okay, well, you're fucking stupid. So I'm thinking that he's not gonna catch on to these little things, and he's just gonna fucking go in there guns ablaze, and like he's gonna drive to that building, use the passcode, run in, he's gonna like read off some other fake name for Matsuda, write that name in the death note. They're gonna find out that the death note is how he's killing people, because he's gonna write the name in, and then actually, if Matsuda doesn't die, then to them it's just going to look like he's writing a note that, like, this is the guy's name, and maybe he's going to do something with that information later. Because if Matsuda doesn't die, then like there's no evidence there. But if they can get their hands on the Death Note, then they can kind of correlate all the deaths to all the names that are written in the Death Note. So I think they will piece it together. I don't know. I feel like I'm overanalyzing this way too fucking much. I need to just get into this episode because it is going to be a fucking banger. I can't wait. This episode is going to be so fucking good. I can feel it in my bones. Let's get right into it. 3, 2, 1.
A devilish charm, an angel's glitter, just for you.
I found out there are 2 things Cheetah has to have in order to kill someone.
A name and a face.
Cheetah only knows one of those 2 things about me.
Does that mean there's nothing left that can connect me to his name? Maybe he's already destroyed his file at Yoshida. Am I wasting my time?
Oh shit.
What do you think?
Rem, who's that?
Can Misa still see Rem?
No.
If this guy was smart, he would destroy everything that connects him with his real name before he appeared on TV.
Yeah.
And don't you think it's a little
Definitely.
reckless for Yoshida Productions to just let me into their offices unsupervised?
Yes!
If there was a robbery, they'd figure out right away who did it, since I know where the key is.
But who are you?
He'll still go there.
Even if he does have a file at Yoshida, it could be just another alias. Damn it! Just to be on the safe side, I should also kill the people I contacted at Yoshida Productions.
Oh shit.
If the people you called end up dying too, the phone records will implicate you in their deaths.
Rem, I didn't think
Rem is fucking playing him good.
their call histories before they die.
If he's talking with someone right now, it could be
The Shinigami.
Shinigami.
Yeah!
Perhaps.
How about giving up ownership of the notebook and returning it to me?
No, I'd end up being ruined if I did that. Even if he didn't have proof and I got rid of the evidence by returning the notebook, my life would be over.
We'd be rich, dude.
He's arrived at Yoshida Productions. The show's about to begin.
The show's about to begin. I love this.
To the left as I come in.
Now, Kira, how do you kill? Show me.
This is it.
He's not doing it. He just made a note of his name before leaving. So he's not gonna kill him here?
Ryuzaki, do you want us to apprehend him? Negative. We still don't know how he kills. Perhaps he's planning to do something once he's back in the car.
What are you expecting to see?
If all he needed was the name, then he should have simply taken the personnel file with him, but he just put it back in his drawer after taking the note.
So the note is what's important. Piece it together.
40 seconds.
Cheetah is a cold-blooded murderer.
Uh-oh, you're in trouble.
Damn, he didn't die!
It's another
What's
alias.
he talking about?
Did he already try and kill Matsuda? Was writing his name down all he had to do?
Yes.
I don't understand what's going on. I still can't figure out how he kills people.
Rem, let's make the deal.
The deal? Who is this Rem person he keeps talking to? Could it really be that Kira's power
It's
comes from
happening.
another
But he,
world
of
or
course he
something?
doesn't need to go back to that fucking broadcast station.
Case.
Then what is
He has
this
the tapes at Yoshida.
The Shinigami?
With these eyes, I'm invincible. I have more than enough options now.
He's so fucking evil, man. Oh no.
License, please.
Yeah, no problem. Where did I put it? This'll take care of him.
Don't do it. Oh god.
Bastard!
Oh. Fuck.
He's dead by accident?
This is very bad.
No, not by accident.
It was put his hand in his bag. Could he have done something at that moment? Does he only need a face like the second Kira?
The deal. Piece it together.
A deal.
Everyone, it's too dangerous to allow further action by Higuchi. Let's bring him in. I believe he has the same powers as the second Kira. He is able to kill just by looking at someone's face. Please keep this in mind when you move in to arrest him.
Oh, poor guy. Fuck you.
Mrs. L, we are now aware of Kira's true identity.
Our group will be handling the arrest. In the meantime, please instruct all officers to refrain from approaching his car.
Demigawa, during the next commercial break, swap Matsuda and the MC with mannequins. We'll make it seem as if the broadcast is continuing as normal using the voices we've already prepared.
Yo!
What say we go and join the fun as well?
Yeah.
What?
I'm sorry to do this, Misa, but I'm going to have to make sure you're restrained for a while.
What? But stop.
That's excessive. Okay, that's fucking excessive as shit. They're taking the helicopter?
Pilot a helicopter. That's incredible.
Well, you can figure it out with intuition.
With intuition, he's flying this copter. That's fucking crazy.
Based on his route, I'd guess he's going to the Yotsuba main office.
If I go to the main office and find a surveillance video with him on it, I can kill him.
Have you removed absolutely everything relating to Matsuda at the Yotsuba headquarters?
Yeah.
Yo, I love this. They have it all fucking planned out.
What the hell?
Of course they do.
This is the right tape. Someone must have erased it. Or someone from the group betrayed me and started working with him. No, doing that wouldn't absolve them of their crimes.
Yeah, it would.
I just have to go to Sakura TV and kill him there.
He's on his way to Sakura TV. He'll be there in less than 15 minutes. Are you ready?
I don't need my son asking if I'm ready. Of course I am.
You ready, Mr. Yagami? It's almost time.
You all need to put on some masks.
Here. Take it.
I can't take this. I'm no longer a police officer. Japanese law forbids civilians from having guns. That means you shouldn't be using one either.
He's so
I
honorable.
guess you're as stubborn as always, huh?
Yeah, I made it in time. Why isn't anybody here? Is it just in case the announcement is true and Kira decides to retaliate? At least it makes my job easier.
Bro.
We're moving into position. Let's go, Iber.
Okay, Mo.
Yes, put the masks on.
Even the studio is deserted. Still, I gotta be careful of where the cameras are. Dummies! Oh, this can't be!
Higuchi, hold it right there!
You just got played, son. Yo.
I'd give up if I were you.
They're wearing tinted helmets. They must be taking precautions against Kira. Let me show you my business card.
No.
No, Chief!
No fucking
I
way.
didn't want to have to use one of these, but
Higuchi has a gun on him.
Oh,
The
it's
chief's
just
been
his
shot.
arm. Holy
Higuchi's
shit.
escaping.
I'm all right.
This is spiraling out of control a little bit.
We'll have to move in and apprehend him. Watari, are you ready?
Yes.
Light.
Does he have a sniper rifle in the back?
Self-defense. This is Kira we're after.
no thanks. Firearms aren't allowed in Japan.
You know, I'm sure your father would say the exact same.
Like father, like son. I love that shit. Okay, guy.
Like a maniac. Don't
Fucking crazy bastard.
What the hell was all that about? Had to be a trap.
You fucked, boy. Woo!
Just like I thought, it was a trap. Police cars with tinted windows. So all that stuff about the cops not going after Kira was a lie.
What's happening? I thought we told the police not to get involved with the arrest.
The only one who would do this is...
Yes, you must be right.
It is. Fucking Aizawa! Yes, man! And, oh, I don't remember his name! Fuck! Both our homeboys, man! Fuck yeah! So hype, man! Oh my god! You're fucked.
Stop right there.
Boom! Watari for the fucking win! Oh my god! You're done, guy.
Stay back! Stay back or I'll shoot, I swear!
Really? Oh! Okay, that's a fucking crazy, incredible shot. He's in a helicopter and he was able to shoot it out of his hand.
It's over.
Yes, it's over.
Don't you fucking end. Don't you... Fuck! Oh, man. What's going on, everybody? Rogue here, and that was episode 23 of Death Note. That episode was fucking awesome. Holy shit. It went by in a fucking flash. That was like the fastest fucking Death Note episode I have seen yet. Let's get right into this episode breakdown. What a good fucking episode. Holy shit. The episode started off with Higuchi in his car watching the broadcast. It was showing a lot of the internal dialogue he was having. And some of the internal dialogue that he was having included stuff like, if he's this confident to go on TV, or there's a possibility that the name that's at the office is also an alias, so he doesn't know if it's worthwhile to even go to that office and get that information. And then it also crossed his head, like, why would a corporation even let me into their building unsupervised? But then he convinced himself that... well, if anything was stolen or anything like that, then they would know that I was the one who was in there. But they didn't do any crazy identification check to make sure he was who he said he was or any... Like, I don't know. That's weird. But I guess when you're in that situation, you're not thinking, like, super clearly. And so I understand, like, his reasoning, kind of. And he isn't as smart as Light or L or anything, and so it makes sense that that's where his train of thought would go. He ended up getting to that office, and he got to the back and got the file, and he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. He had the notebook, he noted the guy's name, and then he just left. And there were people there waiting to arrest him, but they needed to know how he kills. I'm not sure what they were thinking he would do there. Like, what are the possibilities of someone who has Kira's power? Like, what are some ways that Kira could kill from a distance? Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like any little action that he does, they should be taking very strict notes of that and kind of correlating that this must be how he's planning on killing. Because as soon as he wrote the name, he kind of like chilled out and he just walked back to his car and like nothing was really happening, and then he counted the 40 seconds and he was like, damn, he didn't die. And so like you should be able to piece together that the one thing that he did in there must have been how he was planning on killing. But the concept of like a death note where you just write someone's name and they die is kind of far-fetched, and so it's not something that someone would immediately think would be the case. Even under these weird circumstances of trying to catch Kira, I'm trying to think of how L understands this. Like, how does L think this whole Kira killing people business could work? Does he think that he needs to actively be, like, looking at their face and have their name like, I don't understand how he would understand Kira's power. Does he think that there's some kind of ritual involved? Or, like... maybe he thinks that, like, maybe there's, like, voodoo dolls involved, or, like, there's a voodoo doll and you write the person's name on it, and then you, like, I don't understand. I don't get it. I feel like if I was in that situation, I would be keeping track of any little details that he was doing, and then I guess trying to get my hands on that note that he was writing shit on. I don't know. I understand that it would be super hard to kind of piece things together, and so... I get it. I just feel like they should have at least guessed that, like, is writing his name down all he needed to do? Or is that a special book? Or something, like, I don't know. And maybe they did. Maybe I was just too caught up in the moment and I missed a line. But I feel like they were like super in the dark, where they should have been trying to piece things together in that moment. Especially that ideal where he straight up said, like, Rem, let's make the deal. That should have been, like, immediate, that, like, oh, he's planning something, he's doing something. Especially since L kind of suspected that he might be talking to a Shinigami, because Light and Misa kind of gave him hints that a Shinigami may actually exist. And so he was kind of, like, thinking of ways around it, like, in not literal terms. But at that point, he had to actually kind of think of it as literal terms, as... there might actually be some kind of a ghost or a spirit or something that is communicating with Kira. And so, like, I don't know. I just thought that some, like, either Light or L should have been able to piece it together a little bit more, but I'm just thinking way too much. I know all the details and they don't, and so like I understand why they would be kind of questionable, and I totally understand that they might think that he just jotted down the name and he was going to use that name under different circumstances to try and use Kira's power. And so obviously they don't know it's as simple as just writing the person's name with that person's face in mind in this notebook. And so I'm just overanalyzing. Sorry about that, guys. I apologize. Anyways, let's get back to the breakdown here. I actually thought that he was going to go straight to the broadcasting station, but I totally forgot that, like, of course there has to be, like, video cameras or, like, some kind of recorded evidence of Matsuda in that building that day. So, of course, he would rather go back to Yotsuba and just look at that videotape and see the name above his head with the eyes, instead of going to the station and risking himself being caught. But I think her name was Wedi. Wedi had already gone there and wiped those tapes and replaced them with tapes where Matsuda wasn't there. And so he ended up having to go to the broadcasting station anyways. And they fucking set up dummies. Like, that was a fucking such a brilliant plan. Bravo, 10 out of 10. I love that shit. That was fucking awesome. They set up, like, dummies and an audio recording, and no one was in the building, which would have, like, that was super suspicious. Like, Higuchi kind of, like, talked himself into why that could be the case, that, like, maybe they're just taking extra precautions, but, like, that's weird to have, like, no receptionist, no guards, nothing during a broadcast. That's, like, come on now. Like, especially if Kira can control people, he could have just taken control of that police officer who pulled him over, and he could have, like, written down that, like, this police officer is going to go to this station and shoot so-and-so. And then, boom, just like that, like, he doesn't have to implicate himself in that whole mess. But he actually went there himself. Like, if I was him, I would have used Kira's power to take control of someone else and do the dirty work for me. Like, I would get that police officer to fucking go there or, like, shut it down. Like, I would use that police officer in a better way, but I understand that, like, he was tight on time, and if he had written down this lengthy thing in his notebook, then there's a possibility that, like, the police officer would have pulled him out of the car or something. Like, it would have just slowed down the whole process. And so I understand why he wouldn't use the police officer, but he could have used really anyone. Like, he had a gun. He could have, like, put the gun somewhere and then had someone take this gun from this location and, like, race over to this building where the broadcast is and shoot everyone in the building or something like that. Like, he could have did something. He didn't have to go himself. But Higuchi, I guess, like, isn't that intellectually inclined, and so I understand why none of this crossed his mind. And maybe I'm flawed. Maybe there's huge gaps in the plan that I just laid out. Like, maybe it would take too much time, or it would be unreliable, or something like that. But I feel like that would just be the safer bet. Like, utilize Kira's powers to fix the situation instead of trying to do everything yourself. You know? Anyways, he made it to the station himself, and when he got there, he got jumped by Chief Yagami, and I think Matsuda and Wedi and Iber. And what actually ended up happening was fucking Higuchi pulled a gun and tried to shoot Wedi, I think it was. And then Chief Yagami jumped in front of the bullet and took the shot in his arm. Fucking champ, MVP right there. That's like, you're the best. Chief Yagami, you're the fucking man. No, who would do that? Who would fucking do that? That's fucking crazy. But then Higuchi used the commotion to kind of escape and race back to his car. As fucking Higuchi was pulling onto the highway, fucking our boys Aizawa and I don't remember the other guy's name. Oh, I'm so sorry, dude. But those two fucking guys who used to be a part of the investigation were fucking there, and they fucking had a roadblock of police cars with tinted windows and all that jazz. And they were, I love that shit, man. They needed this, man. They needed to participate in this because this was it. Like, if there was a plan to catch Kira, they needed to be involved. And I love that they fucking made an appearance and blocked him off. And that was like, who knows what could have gone down if they didn't block that shit off. Like, there could have been so many fatalities, like especially traffic fatalities, because he was driving incredibly recklessly. And so I could see there being so many fucking car accidents if he was allowed to continue the way that he was driving. But he got fucking blocked off, and as he tried to make an escape, Watery, with the fucking sniper skills, took out a tire, and he fucking slammed into the sidewall, and man, that was so fucking good. Watery is a fucking G, dude. The fact that he has that incredible aim while on a moving helicopter, like, that's wow. You have impressed me, old man. You are a fucking G. I love it. God damn, this episode was so good. Ugh. And then in the last moment of the episode, Higuchi pulled a gun to himself, and that was all that he could think of to do. But Watery comes in again in the clutch, and he shoots the gun out of his hand. Like, what? That's fucking crazy, dude. What an incredible shot he is. Like, wow. Honestly, I have no idea where the fuck this show can go next episode. Rem actually gave him the idea to forfeit ownership of the Death Note, and so I'm really hoping that he doesn't fucking do that, and then he gets taken into custody and questioned, but he can't answer the questions, just like Light and Misa. Like that, oh my god, that roundabout would kind of frustrate me, and so I really hope that isn't the fucking case. Either way, though, they now have that Death Note. As long as, like, of course they're going to look through all of his belongings, and they're going to, like, super analyze this shit, and they're going to see that that Death Note is in his fucking bag, and they're going to pull that shit out and see all these names and causes of death, and they're going to easily piece this shit together, that he's using this fucking notebook to kill all these people, and this is how Kira gets his powers. That will be super hyped to see next episode. That's gonna be fucking awesome. I'm very curious to see where the fuck this show goes now, because, like, I don't know if Higuchi's gonna forfeit ownership of the Death Note and lose his memories, or if he's gonna keep his memories and kind of let the investigation team in on how he's doing all these killings. I don't think he would do that, because that would seriously implicate himself. But, I don't know. I don't know where this show can go after this. I have no idea. And who the fuck are they gonna go after this? Like, there is no other Kira to chase after. Like, is Rem gonna take this notebook and fucking take it to someone else now? Or, like, what's the plan here? What's gonna go down? I don't get it. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this episode right here. I hope you guys liked this reaction. If you did, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and leave a comment down below. I would greatly appreciate it. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!